The following podcast is a W2M Network original production. Visit W2Mnet.com for all of our other great podcasts, plus news, reviews, articles, and opinions from the worlds of wrestling, video games, football, and entertainment.
Wrestling to the Max, NXT Review.
I'll take it back, what's mine, I ain't giving in to what they tell me, nah, I ain't listening. Can't deny I was made for this, shove it back in the faces you say I admit.
And welcome to another episode of Wrestling to the Max NXT Review for January 24th, 2018. And we are brought to you by W2Mnet.com. That's right, the place where you go get all your great wrestling needs and a lot more. And hey, don't forget to go do us the favor of subscribing, rating, and reviewing. Once you do all three of those things, you get everything that we have to offer, and you also help us out. So please go do that if you haven't already. You can either find us at the Wrestling to the Max or the W2M Network. Whatever one you choose, hey, just go do it. And also, big love to ForOneMania.com and LastWordOnProWrestling.com, places where you can go find more great wrestling content. So please go check them out, support them because they support us. I am Gary Vaughan, and along with me on this journey is Mr. Paul Leazar.
Heyo.
And Paul, today we are excited because this is the go-home show for TakeOver Philadelphia. Oh, man, I cannot wait.
I'm super stoked, too, but I think it's more important to at least say that there's daylight outside, Gary. Like, what is happening right now?
Oh, God. It's like that movie. Have you ever seen the movie In the Mouth of Madness?
Yes.
Yes, that's the way it feels right now. Like, this is not supposed to be like this. Yeah, so we are coming to people a little later. We are being very honest. Hey, we promise we come on a Friday. Well, technically, this is a Friday.
Yeah,
it's during the day and not 2 a.m. in the morning. So, but you know what? I hope it helps bring my energy level, because sometimes I love the show and I get energized and I get my adrenaline rush, but it's not the same as, hey, I just got off work and I'm showered and I am ready to go. So I got energy.
Well, let's bring that energy to this episode of NXT, which opens with Velveteen Dream, who is basically talking about how everybody in NXT dreams of being the champion. Gargano dreams of it. Velveteen Dream dreams of a whole bunch of other people. However, Velveteen Dream is the star of the show, and everybody sort of just has to accept that he is the Velveteen Dream. He's this big, confident guy, and Gargano is filled with all this self-doubt that's plaguing him since the Ciampa days, essentially, even though he doesn't exactly bring that up. But tonight, the Velveteen Dream is going to win, is basically where he's coming from. Gargano's dream will be over, all this other stuff. I thought this was solid work.
I did too. Do you like the production value too of them kind of having him call on the ambiance and all the other parts of this that kind of start up the whole look of Velveteen Dream and the purple haze and all that?
I thought it was interesting because they haven't really touched on this really since his video packages. And it's been all, either backstage promos or in-ring promos and stuff like that. We haven't really seen a pre-taped thing like this before from him.
Mm-hmm. I kind of dug it. This is NXT, so some of the production value, the audio, things like that, are not exactly on cue, which usually they are in WWE, but you could kind of tell this is a green screen kind of thing. So you get that. You understand that idea. But I do like the premise. I like the fact that he is, I want to say it, he's Prince. Right?
Exactly.
He is Michael Jackson. He's got that ambiance about him. When he walks in the room, that it's not just him walking in the room, it's the entire essence of Velveteen Dream. So I dig it. I like it. I think it was kind of fun. His message was very clear. And, it may not have been the best stuff I've seen from him, but I think it got the message across. And I think that's the most important thing here.
Exactly. The message comes across. He's here to ruin Gargano's party, is basically what this is all about. So, we move on. No Way Jose taking on Cesar Bononi. A match that looked pretty good on paper is really nothing more than a squash, as No Way Jose is returned from all the beatings he took from Lars, essentially, now, and gets the quick victory here with this big wind-up punch. And Cesar, I don't know if we saw the growth as we've seen from appearance to appearance from him. And granted, he's not in there with a wizard or anything like that, but it's two guys who I kind of expected to gel a little more than what we got here.
Yeah, I think there was definitely something missing here. I can't really put my finger on it, but you're right. It really did feel like a squash match, not like what we get from some of these other young talents that are not exactly on the level of, a guy like even Noe Jose. So
Right.
I think, for what you got, it gets also the idea across that Noe Jose's back. He's ready to be dominant again, and I like that. But I am right there with you. I'm kind of disappointed because I really felt Bunyoni should be a little further along, and I kind of felt like this was just kind of saying he's in the same place.
Exactly. It doesn't really feel like he's progressing at all. And it's a good way to get Noe Jose back on the map, right? He's going to work his way back up through some victories here, so I guess we'll just have to see how this continues to shape up moving forward for Mr. Noe Jose. We get this awesome video package for Aleister Black and Adam Cole, which is no real shocker because I think this is the thing WWE has done their best work on for maybe the last 30 years. No surprises there. And then we go to Bianca Belair taking on LaToya here. This is basically a squash for Belair, who hasn't been on TV in a while. LaToya gets a few hope spots in here or there, but this is really just Belair showing off her stuff, and that's fine.
Yeah, once again, they're getting somebody to be involved in a match because they need him to be in the good graces of the audience. They need them to see what they can do. And, let's be honest, Bianca hasn't been around for a while. I'm trying to even think when she was involved in a match last. It may have been 4 months ago, at least on TV, right? She's probably been doing dark matches. So I think this is important. I think they did a good job of presenting her very well. I really feel like they did because just the entrance, and then you come in and the match itself, the way they put it together, you really felt like she was, a viable opponent, but yet LaToya still just could not get anything going because she was against someone who was pretty dominant. So I like that. I like what they did. I feel like it's a good presentation of Bianca. What you got to say with Noe Jose? So
Exactly. And then we move on to this sit-down interview hosted by Percy Watson between Shayna Baszler and Ember Moon as they hype up the Women's Championship match for this Saturday. I thought this was good. Shayna is basically no nonsense. I'm here to make everybody put up with me because I'm so great and I'm going to kill you. And Ember Moon is basically on the defensive. I'm the champ. I'm all these other things that have made me so great, There's so much of me that really wants her to mention that she's only really lost to Asuka. That's it. She's beaten everybody else. Like, what makes Shayna think that she could come in and sort of touch her is to me, a really big mispoint that I don't think they touch on enough. And I thought this was fine overall. Once again, I still don't think Ember is super comfortable yet at this portion of the job, and Shayna certainly doesn't seem all that much in the same vein either.
I will say this, and me and you agree on the Ember Moon because I think she is a great talent. I think if there's something that she's got to find some way to get comfortable in her promos. At the moment, every time I see her, I feel like she is forcing herself to do that. Like I feel like almost tense. And it's weird to say that, but I feel that tense moment for myself because I'm thinking, man, she keeps her chin down the entire promo and she's like pushing, like I've got to sound like I'm a bad mofo. But it's just... She's such a likable person. It's almost hard to come across. I don't know if you feel that way, but I kind of, every time I see her, I'm like, you're not meant to be like that. You're like a big sister or something like that for somebody. So I no hate on her. I think she's doing her best as she can. It's going to take time. She's going to learn. Ember Moon, you're going to be fine. I just think right now it does feel forced. Shayna Baszler, I think, has a little bit of a leg up. Now, she's not the best promo. I'm not saying that she is. She didn't come in and walk in the door and knock it apart. She has the benefit of being an MMA fighter who has had time on television, who has cut promos that are real. Like, I'm coming to choke you out no matter what you do or say. It's going to happen. That was her daily life. That was what she did in whatever promotion she was, fighting for. Now she's in WWE. They've kind of tried to tell her to do a few more things, add a little spice to that. She doesn't know how. She's just used to sitting in an interview and telling you, I'm going to kill you. That's it. And I think you get the same thing here. I think when she tries to be a little smug and things like that, it still comes across of MMA fighter rather than I'm a real jerk. It just comes across like, hey, I'm going to beat you up. That's about it.
Right. I mean, honestly, I think that works for her because that's really all she's going to do. She's going to come in there. She's going to beat the crap out of you. That's what Shayna do. I think you're onto something with Ember is that we've seen so many different sides of both the character and the actual person underneath. And it's kind of hard to jump in between this really sincere person who's very passionate about what she does to Ember Moon, who I still don't know if we have a super solid idea of what the gimmick is supposed to be, other than the fact that she's really cool.
Yeah. I mean, go ahead.
I was going to say, and I think that's part of the problem is the person I think we know, the wrestler I think we know, I don't think we understand the gimmick yet.
Yeah, yes, I'm in that same ballpark. I really am. And I look at the contacts and all the other great things that she brings at the presentation. If I was going to say, okay, overall as a presentation, as a wrestler, what does she got? She's got 2 out of 3.
Right.
Great presentation, great entrance, great wrestling ability, right on cue. Got everything that she needs to do to be a great performer in the ring. The third one is the charisma, the character. It's just not there yet. It's just not there. And I don't know what they're going for. Like you said, I don't think that we're getting the message of what she's supposed to be or who she is supposed to be. I wish that they would find a way around making that a little stronger or building it in a different way. I'm just going to say, if I was the coach now, I'm not a professional like those people backstage, but if I was there, I would say, I don't need you to point your chin down and talk to her in like I'm going to get you voice. I want you to yell at her. Mm-hmm. I want you to be so mad, and I want you to scream at her. If you have to scream, you've got to scream. So I just kind of feel like that's the way to work. I mean, I look back in time and look at some of these other promos. Stone Cold Steve Austin became a great promo later. But when he first started, wasn't that great. Let's be honest. He was just a kind of okay Southern Texas boy. But when he got mad and he kind of yelled, then you knew he meant business. And then later on, he was able to grow into it. I think maybe we need to start a new way of getting her to put things across until she gets that level.
Yeah, I mean, once I think she turns that last corner that you're mentioning she doesn't have, you got a runaway hit, so let's hope they figured that out soon.
Yep.
We get the second part of the TM61 history video, which the first part was incredible. I enjoyed that so much last week. This one sort of picks up where it left off and talks about the injury that Shane Thorne took that ended up sidelighting the team all this time. Talking about the finale of the Dusty Rhodes Classic last year against the Authors of Pain. And it just sort of all of this built-up energy, all of this lack of an ability to present who they actually are and what they can do has really sort of fired them up, and they're ready to prove that the mighty do not kneel, Gary. And they're going to be back in action next week, which I'm really excited for. Yeah, this was a team that I don't think we ever got to see take off. They always just seem sort of stuck on the runway, and I'm really excited to see if this second chance, with a much more wide-open tag team division, will sort of help them find their way.
Yes, and when Brandon and I did the show last week, we kind of got into this a little bit, and I think that the way that they are showcasing these guys is the smartest way you can do it. Mm-hmm. They really are making them very real, very likable. They're showing the history. They're getting you back into what they're about, and I think that's so great. It's some of the best work I think I've seen in a while, because, I mean, when these guys show up and debut, people are going to be so excited to see what they're going to be next. Mm-hmm. And to see that they went through those struggles and those pains and those things, just excellent job. I cannot wait to see TM61 get back in the ring.
Me too. These guys are terrific workers, so I really do hope they get the chance they deserve here. After that, we get to watch Authors of Pain straight up murder people. Bell rings, and that's it. Just because they can't stop killing them.
Oh boy, I mean, that was the quick work of a century. So yes, the authors are painted here, and they're dangerous. I think we knew that message, but hey, it's always fun to see these guys kill people. So they did it again, and I want to see what they do on Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday, exactly. And then we have our main event here as Johnny Gargano puts up his championship match at TakeOver against the Velveteen Dream since he was injured and was taken out of the miniature tournament and all that stuff. And these guys work a pretty gosh darn good match here. 13, almost 14 minutes here. Gargano escape. Velveteen Dream has to tap out. A lot more work involved here in letting Dream get his stuff in. Similar to his match with Aleister Black. Just maybe lacking that extra fire that feud sort of helped build up here. But, I mean, Dream looked great. Gargano manages to pull it out in the end. Just great stuff.
Yeah, and I will say that these guys definitely pulled it off. I was a little bit worried they were going to do something kind of wonky. I was kind of nervous, honestly, that they were going to think, well, we had this whole thing going with Gargano, but we're going to pull the rug out from underneath everybody's feet, too. But they didn't do that, and I think overall they gave us a really solid match. I think Velveteen Dream, I mean, he's a guy that I hated on for a long time, and I'm coming around to him, and I think in the ring he has something that I really never wanted to ever give him the credit for. It's a presence in the ring that I think it takes a certain science to have, and I don't know what it is. It's not like he's a 5-star wrestler that's going to come out. He's not the next AJ Styles. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is he has his particular way of doing things, and the way he's doing things is working out very well. It's unique, I guess that's the best way of saying it, and I think it's a good unique. So good job on him. I think Gargano looked great because he kind of came back from some of the situations that he was put in and got a solid win. I'm really happy with that.
Right. And Dream, I mean, you know, that uniqueness you're talking about, I think it's a real sort of throwback aura to early 90s, mid 80s stuff where the gimmick sort of drew you into everything. And it's certainly something you get very rarely these days. So I'm really appreciative of that. I think that's very much what got people so quickly on his side. Not only is he getting, you know, a chance to work with some great wrestlers and really show off that he actually can go pretty well, but just this sort of throwback idea of this all-encompassing gimmick that he's able to execute supremely well, I think is what makes him such a must-watch when he's on TV.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think he's going to do even better things. I'm looking forward to those.
Exactly. And then here in the post-match, you have Andrade Cien Almas show up with Zelina Vega. Almas goes into the ring and stands off with him and then tries to attack Gargano. But of course, Gargano attacks him first and ends up running him off with Enziguri in the slingshot DDT deal, and then holds up the title to stand tall. And you know, if we're trusting WWE logic, that usually doesn't mean good things for Gargano. I have a feeling, however, this might be one where it's the other way.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny the way that we're kind of seeing all this kind of unfold here, and I thought they may do something like this, right? They may do the attack and all that kind of stuff, but I think, you know, when you see the guy that's the babyface stand tall at the end, it always makes you nervous, and it always spells out something that's maybe not in your favor. But I don't know. I'm not going to say that things don't work, but I just think it kind of almost gives you that check mark beside it saying, hey, this is not going to work out the way they're trying to make you think. So
Right.
Not bad, though. And Vega did a good job screaming her head off. I loved that. You'd have thought that he was stabbing almost. I mean, I really thought, good God, you need to start, you know, getting more into the acting because you could be on Dexter or something.
Zelina's great. She's wonderful. She adds, like we've said so many times, she adds so much to the character, but she's such a great presence on her own too. So. That's it for NXT, though. We'll be previewing this, hopefully, on our W2M episode.
Yeah, we will. We'll get it done. And what's going to be so awesome is that's part 2, episode 283. And that's going to be a lot of fun. We're not only just going to break it down NXT TakeOver Philadelphia, we'll also be doing the Royal Rumble. That's right. We'll be predicting both of those shows. We'll also be doing a New Japan preview as well. Oh. We got a lot of previews. I believe it's New Japan, right?
Yeah. We got New Beginning in Sapporo across 2 days this weekend.
Yeah, so we got lots to cover, plus a lot of great wrestling news and all the other stuff, Superstar of the Week that we do. So you do not want to miss that episode. It's going to be a lot of fun. And make sure you come check out us and all of our other great friends at the Wrestling to the Max Network, which is the W2M Network. Go search it out. Go find it. Subscribe, rate, and review at the W2M Network or just Wrestling to the Max, whatever one you choose. Please go do that now. And also, don't forget to go check out W2Mnet.com because you can find all our content right there as well. Make sure you give some big love to FormulaOneMania.com and LastWordOnProWrestling.com as well. Both of them are great. They support us. Let's go support them, guys. And thank you so much for joining us. We can't wait to see you on the flip side. Until then, we'll catch you guys down the road.
Have a good one, guys.
The previous podcast is a W2Mnet.com original podcast. For more great content like this, go to W2Mnet.com for the worlds of wrestling, video games, entertainment, and sports.